Ian's already on?
Yep. And Ed Lynch is on too. Yeah. Well, he's probably going to get a 0 from the room leader. You think?
You're not there yet.
No, but look at his room.
Wait, you don't like the boxes?
No, that's embarrassing. That looks like Carol Gans's house. So.
Hey guys, I didn't realize you were coming in this early. I was just making sure I could connect. Can you guys hear me?
She's out there. She's funny. All of a sudden she feels she has to.
caller.
Hi.
Call from wireless caller.
Okay, it's kind of late for you. Oh no, we went to the store. Wednesday's chiropractic. Yeah, we got home at 4 o'clock. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, but you fall under college, don't you? School? You're an employee. It says employees of the college. Well, not in the day website. In the day website, it was teachers, custodians, bus drivers. Oh. Well, Dad got his first one today. Yep. Nope, and he got his second one scheduled for 3 weeks from today at Foxwoods. Yeah. Pfizer. Yep, he got Pfizer. Yeah. Yep. So otherwise, not much happening here. Well, good. I'm glad you didn't call me when you were frustrated, because then you're crabby. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's hope not. Mm-hmm. Oh, right after you left the school? Right. So it's a good thing you left when you did. Well, that's not fun. No. Just getting ready for my meeting. I have a WPCA meeting tonight. Yeah. Yep. We just ate dinner, and well, we went to ShopRite. I don't usually go with Dad. I usually send him by himself, but they had American cheese on sale. Whenever he buys the American cheese, it's too thick. Even though he tells them thin, they don't make it thin. So I want, and I was buying other cold cuts, so I said I'd go with him because there's usually a pretty bad line at the deli at ShopRite. And we actually ran into Julie there, and then we ran into some lady that works at the casino that we knew from the casino. It was like we kept seeing her, never see anybody ever at the store, and we ran into 2 people. Yeah, it was funny. Took a lot longer than we expected. Well, the deli took a long time. Julie was talking to me while I was at the deli. But yeah. No, he was fine. He went off and got chips and goldfish. He went off and got some things while I was waiting at the deli. So he says, "What can I go get while you're here?" So I said, "Go get this and this." And so he did that. Because he went this morning and got his shot real early. It was at 8:30, 8:25 or something. They made him wait 15 minutes afterwards and gave him his new appointment, so he was all happy. Yeah. Yep. So, but we're going to see what happens with the shot thing, because there's all kinds of people all upset that he didn't do anything with the pre-existing conditions. And I don't know how they were going to do that anyway. I didn't know, how you were going to decide who was sick enough to need it first. I think in a way you were safe with going with the age, but I thought that according to what we saw here in the day, schools were everybody that was at the schools. Just true. Yeah. Well, just keep wearing your mask. Even after you get the shot, you're supposed to still wear your mask, and you're still supposed to stay away from people, and you're still supposed to do all kinds of stuff. I know, and he's not following the CDC's recommendations, although he hasn't right along anyway. He's always done it his way. I understand it's easier, but I was led to believe that schools were everybody, and that there were going to be clinics. There were, right. Oh, it doesn't say that. It doesn't specifically say that in the day article, but it's also just a synopsis of what the governor said, which, but you're in direct contact with students, which was supposed to be the whole point of, it's supposed to be for the people in direct contact with students to be able to be vaccinated so that schools could stay open. No. That's in a warped sense kind of true. Well, so aren't you. We don't know. It's just, all I know is on Monday, well, Sunday night at 12 midnight, I'm going to try to get registered. Yeah, because we're always up that late anyway. And you just keep going into the sites, and you just keep trying different places, because they open, some of the pharmacies only open up 2 or 3 days at a time. And when they fill the slots, then they close down, and then a couple days later they open it up again. So a lot of these things you got to just keep checking. So that's what Dad's plan is, to keep checking. I just want my vaccination before the end of tax season so I can go away in the end of April or May, because I won't get on a plane if I haven't been vaccinated, because they're doing middle seats and stuff, and I ain't sitting next to somebody on a plane if I haven't had a vaccination. I don't mind wearing a mask on the plane. I don't mind sitting next to somebody if I've been vaccinated, but I don't want to sit next to anybody if I haven't been. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, go enjoy your dinner. All right. Love you. Bye. Okay. Tell Liz I said hi. Bye. Is somebody really calling you? Oh, no, that's fine, but it just went off twice and I couldn't figure out why it was ringing again. Didn't turn it off. Yeah. Okay. I'm aware of what's going on now.
Hello.
Okay, good.
Hey, Tony, do I need to start recording when the meeting starts?
No, Ed, it's set up to automatically record. It's recording right now.
It is. I see it.
Yeah, I didn't do it, but I finally figured that out with my classes that I can set up Zoom so it automatically records when the meeting starts. So we are recording right now.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, I better get my glasses on. I can't see. All right. Okay.
You getting along without crutches, Bill?
Yep, I'm clamming.
Good.
No, not really. I'm just
No,
on
no.
the couch.
You're still wearing a boot though, I assume, right?
Oh yeah, I can't put any weight on it for another 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, I guess you messed it up pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, how are you doing?
Fair. It's the recovery's not, I'm always more optimistic than I should be. So I'm still dealing with pain. I'm walking 2 miles a day, which is the good news.
Oh, that's
But
twice
no,
what you were last week.
Yeah, I can't tie my shoes. I can't bend over that far to tie my shoes.
Yeah.
I am off the oxycodone. I finally got off that last Friday. I figured I just got to suck it up. I can't keep, sucking oxycodone every day. It's coming, but it's
Yeah.
going to be, it's a slow process. This was much more extensive than I thought it was going to be, than I think my surgeon thought it was going to be. Because I think I told you, when you have 13 hours of surgery over 2 days, that's a lot of surgery.
That's what my friend, the neurosurgeon said. He said that was an incredible amount of work.
Yeah, it's I go back next Thursday. I'm sure he's going to show me the pictures, but he had to do just a ton of reconstruction in there.
Wow.
So anyway, it'll get better eventually.
Yeah, that's right. Got to work through it.
Yep. I don't know how I would do this though if I didn't have my wife home to help me. People
Yeah.
who are single or widowed or divorced. I don't know how you could handle this by yourself.
Oh yeah.
It would be impossible.
I can't imagine. Yeah. Yep.
She does a great job of bossing me around, but probably to my benefit.
Probably right. Somebody's got to keep you under control, right?
Yeah. I'm good in the morning, but as the day goes on, I get more sore. And when I teach my classes, I have to sit for, one of my classes is an hour and a quarter twice a week, and the other 2 are an hour and a half. And I get to that hour and a quarter point, and my back bothers me. But what bothers me most is the pain goes down. It goes down into my hips and down into my legs, and my hamstrings start killing.
Ooh.
So anyway, it's coming. I'll get there eventually.
Yep.
just do? Shoot, didn't do that. Well, we got 5 minutes. Geez, I look at Bill's thing, I'm getting seasick.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it off. It's bothering
I
me.
saw that.
No, I'm getting seasick. Yeah, I'll have to compete with you, Bill. I'll have to get my GoPro video when I was going down the Hidden Valley in the Alps.
That's a
Skiing.
good one, Ed. Do
Yeah,
it.
it was 5 miles of trails,
Wow.
zooming through Alpine Valley. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, play it.
No avalanches though.
That's good.
Yeah.
What did you trip over, Bill, when you were walking?
Well, I was coming back from hunting, and I had my tree stand on my back and carrying a lot of gear, and I realized a long time later that the problem was I usually wear Maine hunting shoes, which have a nice chain tread on them, and the seams had ripped out, so I sent them back to Bean to be repaired, and so I was wearing these other shoes that have I actually wore the tread off them. So I was walking across some logs that were laid side by side in a muddy area.
Yep.
And my foot slipped and went down, it went 90 degrees down in between two of them, and I kept going.
Mm-hmm. And the
Just
foot
forward
stopped.
motion.
Yep. Ooh.
Foot stopped, everything else kept going. Yep.
Ooh.
So I knew it was going to break on the way down because my foot was locked so hard. And I landed, and I knew right away. So I just pulled the boot off and called 911. I didn't call them. I called the routine number. And they asked dispatch to send some guys with a stretcher, and they sent everything they had. Right, Jared?
Mhm.
That's the way it works.
Yeah. Both fire companies, Ledyard Police, American Ambulance, even Public Works.
I missed the beginning of that, Bill. Where did this happen?
So I park on Alclog Drive because I hunt some property behind the dump, and it's about 3/4 mile walk back there. I was on my way back out. I'd been hunting, and I was about 1/4 mile of the way in, and I was carrying a lot of stuff on my back, and I had some slippery shoes, and it had rained, and I stepped on some logs, and just my foot slipped between them, and I went over with the foot locked in place.
Wow.
So I've done it before. That's the stupid thing. I just said to myself, you're going too fast, slow down. And the last time I did, I fell. It was painful, but it could have been worse than it was. Totally my fault.
You probably didn't see any coyotes either, right?
I saw everything but.
That's what I
I
figured.
busted turkeys out of the roost over me. I've never had so many turkeys in all directions in the woods. So I'm up in the tree, and I'm hearing turkeys in all directions. Then I waited till they flew down and quieted down. Then I set off the coyote call, and all of a sudden I see turkeys running everywhere because the lead in the sequence is a coyote howl.
Yeah.
And so I go through its whole sequence, nothing. And I shut the call off, and I was about to get down, and I saw movement, and here come 3 does through the woods. So I watched them for a while, and then I got down. But yeah, no coyotes.
I guess you're using your coyote call for everything from now on.
That's it. Yeah.
I go deer hunting, I see turkeys. I go turkey hunting, I see coyote.
Yep.
I'm sure
I
the
know what it's
buzzards were
like.
circling around the top of you when you were stuck in the tree like that in the ground.
Say that?
The buzzards,
Say what?
the
right.
turkey buzzards were probably circling around, waiting for you to,
They didn't have a chance. The Ledyard police were there 6 minutes from the time I called, and Ledyard Fire right behind them.
Wow.
That's
They
great.
brought the UTV. So the guys from American Ambulance, they say, so we got a Stokes basket. We're going to strap you in that, get you up on the back of the UTV. And Alan Minch says, Bill, you think you can just get up and hop in the front seat of the UTV? And I said, yeah. So we did.
I think we have a quorum.
Yeah, I think so too. Let me get into the minutes here and
Yeah, we do.
I'll load people into it. Give me just a
Ray's
second.
on, and I see Ian is on. So,
Yeah, give me about 30 seconds to do the roll in
Okay.
minutes and we'll be ready to roll.
yep,
I am present. So
good.
get some of these answers or the questions you got.
Won't be me.
So I have this
You
right.
believe
Jim
it.
is absent, Manir is absent, and let's see. Jeremy's absent, is that right?
Jeremy, right? Jeremy's not on either.
Okay, and Manir's not and Jim's not. Okay, let me hit
No.
save. And almost there. Give me like 30 seconds. All right, boss, I think I'm ready to go.
Okay, it is presently Tuesday, February the 23rd, 2021. I'd like to call to order the town of Ledyard, Connecticut Water Pollution Control regular meeting. Present is Ed Lynch, Terry Jones, Tony Capone, Sharon Wadecki, Stan Huber, and absent is James Ball, Jerry Norris, and Manir Tufik. Present also is Bill Soms and Ray Valentini. Oh, and Ian Snell. Okay. Do we need to appoint alternates? I think, Tony, you're a regular member, right? So
I'm an alternate. I was just appointed as the
Okay.
voting member.
Right, you are now appointed a voting member. Okay, good. So I see no residents or property owners. Let me, I'm looking for approval of the minutes of January 26, 2021.
Don't
Move
move.
we approve them as submitted.
I'll
Okay,
second.
I see if I can share my, I see that? Wait a minute. All right, so oops, that's the wrong one, isn't it? One to share the minutes. Those aren't the minutes, are they? No, that's,
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
oh, they are, you see them?
Dave Holdridge, that's right.
All right, good. So I just don't know if there's any additions, corrections. It looked pretty straightforward to me, but anybody pick up anything? I don't, okay. Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the minutes of the 26th January 2021 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, they're approved. Okay, let's see if I can share the operation report. The only thing interesting is we had a couple of breaks. This is an interesting break at Powderhorn. And you can see the break there. Looks like a 2-inch line. Looks like there's a reducer. It looks like it goes from 4 to 2. And then there's a 10-inch line, 10-inch with a T. Now, one thing I don't see in the operation report, Ray, is the fact that you had to kick somebody out that was storing salt at Lorenz Drive.
Yeah, that was the big part. That didn't finish before the end of this meeting. So what happened was down on Lorenz Drive, 20, where the used to be not a garbage disposal spot for it wasn't Crandall, the other person that was in town.
But Chuck,
Yeah, he sold out, and Manafort was running it, and then they started bringing salt over from State Pier and dumping it in the building without any permission, because they were going up for they're going to planning and zoning to get approval for their new site plan. But storing salt is not a good thing in the reservoir area. Simply that the runoff itself hurts the water quality.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the owner of that didn't tell him some of the issues with that place. I mean,
Yeah, we had, we were trying to do our sanitary survey and they kicked us off. What ended up happening was the mayor went down and walked on the property and took pictures of it happening the couple days after during the time. And that ceased operation. Then they turned around and started taking stuff out after we talked to the planning and zoning, and we also talked to health department.
yeah, I mean, I guess this is the same guy that had the salt in New London, right? And he was kicked out of there. So
Right.
decided he's going to move it to Ledyard. Yeah, I feel bad for the guy, but all right. Looks like, were these leaks due to the cold or just old age?
It looks like, especially that first one, that was very interesting. So that was a 10-inch T, and
Oh,
it reduces all the way down. I never saw a fitting like that. It was formed in that first picture, and it was all lead joint and snapped at that point. It had a big angle in it.
yeah.
And we didn't have a 10 by 2-inch T. As a matter of fact, nobody had one. I couldn't find one. So we came up and our temporary clamped it on for the night.
Yeah.
Then we went out and had to replace a section of 10-inch pipe, and that's how we tapped it and ran that service. So that was, we had to do that twice. And then we had another one up the road. It was another 2-inch service, just snapped. And before the report was out, we had a third one up the road again that snapped. So we just finished, we had 3 in the last 3 weeks.
Wow. Now there's another thing I meant to mention. The management will request a meeting to renegotiate the expired water contract. So that's the 3.5% increase, correct? I'm sorry,
No,
the
this-
5% increase.
This is for, this goes along with the diversion permit and the sale of excess water. We have an agreement with you for Ledyard to sell the water to you. So we're just, that's all that is.
Oh, okay.
It's nothing to do with the prices or anything. So it's
Okay.
just, and we're writing it up now. We'll send it up, or we can meet, just make sure we all got the quantities and everything that
Okay.
you want. So
When's that diversion permit due? Do you know?
that one, well, there's a series of them. There's a matter of fact, I think there's 4. So I don't know dates off the top of my head, but
Okay,
We have put in this diversion permits, but this one was just the sale part, so we can get that probably next month or so.
okay, thanks, good. I want to check to make sure that the service,
And I did have a question.
Yeah,
Is
go
there
ahead,
any
Sam.
way that the members of the WPCA could be notified when we have these water line breaks? I don't know, an email or text or something like that?
I
Sometimes
get an
we get
email.
questions, and it's kind of embarrassing when the public knows more than the WPCA does about what's going on with our system.
Stan, I actually get an email. I guess if you want, I could just simply pass it on, forward it on to you guys. But I do get an email. I get it from Tara Seblon, and she'll tell us when it's interrupted and where, and then she'll tell us when it's restored.
Yeah, I'd like to get those.
All right, I'll pass those on to
would-
you. I get them quite often, actually. It's information only. I don't usually have to take any action, but they do notify us. So I'll make a note of that to pass it on to you guys. Any other questions on the operations report? If not,
Just, Ed, I think you touched on this briefly, but is there a common factor in now those 3 breaks?
Yeah, the
know.
ground is moving a lot because of hot, cold areas. Plus, when we look at the pipes, they're quite old. They're all lead joint. So, and it's muddy in that area. So I think then now we're gonna have warm weather, and then next week I just watched the weather. It's supposed to be down to like 25 and 5 degrees at night. So I have called next week, so I'm looking forward to it. You see what happens.
so, Ray, one of the things about clay is it swells when it gets
Yep.
wet. It has an ionic reaction, and it will swell, and then and it will shrink about 20% of its volume. I'm surprised you guys backfill with clay and not
We
with
don't.
gravel.
This is what was in the ground. There's no sand around any of the pipes up there. We put a foot of sand and then we put process around it.
Yeah, I'm looking at this picture here. That's definitely mud.
That was the mud that was falling down into the trench. That was a temporary fix, and we just let it flow. And we just put sand on it for the night, and we came back and dug it all up.
Okay. So I don't know, Terry, if that answers your question, but there are issues with clay.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
All right, let's go to the agent reports, and then actually, let's see, let's go to January. The one thing I don't understand is that there is a collection point next to January of $123,331, but then there's a footnote that says the cash collected in the month of January is 134,000. So I guess I'm not really sure why there's a difference in those two numbers.
Cash collected is probably what was billed in previous months and like collected cash that went to the bank that month. What you're seeing in that number for January, the age number is what is still outstanding as far as billing. It's the accounts receivable that's still outstanding bills.
I see. That's what that number is. Okay. And then the cash collect. Okay, good. All right. That makes sense. Thank you. Any questions? Any other questions? If not, we can go to the year to date. I don't know if there's any questions on there. I'll try and skim through. There's
Ed, a question, it's really about accounts receivable. Last month, we said that there were only, I think, 4 payment plans of all the people who were in default. Is that improved?
yeah, that hasn't changed, and so the people are getting late fees. right now. They've been, it's been communicated to those that do not have plans that they will be assessed late fees. Now, we have not authorized shut off yet. We haven't done that. I'm not sure what the next step is, but they are being assessed the late fees. And we are collecting the 3.5% increase also. That Tina did say that it took her some effort, but she got it executed, got it done. So we can go back to the. Now, the only thing, the question I have here is that dues fees. Forgot what we're taking out of dues fees, but it seems to be going up. We budget $3,100 and the actual is like 4,600. Not sure where that money's coming from or where it's going to. It may be diversion permits. I'm not sure.
Yes, all of those are, I'd have to check to see, which working on my laptop with one screen is a little bit more difficult than if I was in the office. Those dues and fees, I'd say 100% of them are to the state for diversion permits. And no, I'm not a professional here with this. I think it's DPH. Is that what the DPH
Yes.
fee or
Right.
that goes to the state as well.
Right. You're right, Ian. We didn't explicitly budget for that. And that's terminating pretty soon, right, Ray? We don't pay. I thought it was only for 3 years.
Yeah, we have one more year and we'll see
Okay.
if they vote it back in.
All right, that's fine. I understand. Yeah, Ian, that's right. Those are the DPH fees.
Yeah, and if it's for 3 years, I'd say that one more year left is right on the money. That's when about 2 years ago is when I started seeing it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the fee we just passed through, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's getting paid for. It's a funny way in which we budget it. We just do a pass through. Didn't see anything else. Yeah, okay. I'm unless anybody else has any issues with that, I'll just go to the next. So go to the sewer. I thought Steve was going to join us tonight. I guess he got hung up. I didn't see anything that was noteworthy in sewer right now. Even the electrical wasn't too outlandish. I find that hard to believe, but all right. Let's go to the crux of the meeting, guys. Here's where it's gonna. So this is the proposed sewer budget. Can you guys see that, or do I have to go to another view? Can you see the sewer budget?
We see
Yeah,
it, but it's awfully small.
Unfortunately, I have to submit them in PDF, but that is why I last month sent you all a copy of the Excel files. So you didn't have to squint your eyes as much as you do with the PDF. You can kind of navigate with the Excel files that I sent.
Okay, I have another view. Let me stop sharing and go to another view that I think can be better read. Let's try that view. Let's see if you can see that. Can you see that? Better? Is that better?
You can see it. It's a bit better.
If I move it to another screen, a bigger screen, I don't think that's going to help you guys.
No.
Yeah, that's better. Ed.
Is it? Yeah. All right.
Just shift it to the left a little bit.
To the left? Whoops. That didn't work. Sorry, I'm having, my computer's got a mind of its own.
Yeah, just use your scroll bar and slide it over a little bit.
Yeah, it's not showing a scroll bar on my screen. That's the problem.
At the bottom?
No.
I can see it.
You can?
Yeah.
I see a scroll bar on the right, but none on the bottom. See, I'm sharing it with Adobe. So you don't.
Huh.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. So the first line, sludge hauling,
See, we're not getting that. We're not getting the last column. We stop at 21 actual. We can't see the budget, Ed.
let me see why they stopped sharing. What is going on with this? All right, let me try it again. It's probably gonna be the same thing. Same thing?
Well, now we got the
That's
whole thing. We
better.
just can't see it. It's tiny.
Yeah, zoom in a little bit on that.
Okay, let me see. I'll go to view. Zoom in.
Yeah,
Is
fit width maybe. Yeah, there you go.
that better?
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, good.
And now you're good.
All right, so we got sludge hauling up. Let's see, where's our actual? We're proposing. So if you guys don't mind, we can go line by line unless you don't have any issue.
Why do we need to go line by line? Why don't we
Alright.
do
So
it
can I just,
Yeah,
so nothing has really changed in this budget except for the contractual agreements, which are highlighted in yellow, which I fill in. The debt also, which I fill in and is highlighted in yellow. And the salaries, retirement, health insurance, everything highlighted in yellow is what I have changed. Everything else I have gone over with Steve. And I believe the only number that we are in kind of a bit of a dilemma with is the electricity. How much to budget for electricity? Last year we had a pretty inexpensive year. And if you scroll up, I believe we only spent 40,000 in fiscal 20. Yes, 40,000, 43.32, which is a pretty dramatic savings from the previous years, about $10,000, give or take. But we had a very warm winter last year, so we weren't sure. I mean, $10,000 is a lot of electricity, but I would say a good chunk of that 10,000 saved is because of the solar panels. But I do not believe that $35,000 as the current proposed fiscal 22 budget is sufficient.
I agree.
I believe around lower 40,000 would be more sufficient.
So you're proposing maybe 43,000? Would that be a fair number?
I'd say that'd be a pretty fair number.
Well, I think we should boost it up to that then. I think. I mean, it's been a cold winter.
Yeah, and electric rates have gone up.
Yeah, the electric rates are going up. Not as bad as Texas, but they're going up. So I think we should increase that.
But we're locked in with the solar panels pretty much.
Right.
All we pay is for the demand and the basically for the cost of Eversource to deliver the electricity.
Right.
But what we pay to the solar company, which pretty much covers all of our electricity, we're locked into that rate. It's just the delivery charges that we pay to Eversource that will fluctuate.
Yeah, but I think we should be safe. If we don't spend as much next year, then that goes into another bucket, right?
Well, I'd say any
People
extra in
accept-
one line is probably going to go into another line based on my experience with working with Steve for the last 5 years. We everything's take from Peter to pay Paul at the end of the year, basically, in this budget.
Yeah, I see chemicals as variable somewhat.
People are complaining that the power company, Eversource in particular, are increasing the delivery charge.
Right.
The distribution charge, you should call it, which makes sense, with the amount of solar being deployed. I'm not saying that they would do that, but it seems logical that something would have to give.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because we're considered obviously a commercial property, the rate that we pay for what's called the demand is based on the highest demand rate during the month, opposed to if it was a residential rate, it would be just the average demand rate of the month.
Right.
So we could spike up for a half hour during a 31-day period and get charged at that spiked up rate for the entire month.
Could be worse. We could be in Texas.
Well, we wouldn't have a plant
Oh, I know.
running. The other stuff is that you have in yellow is contractual, lab technician, shift,
Yep, those
supervision.
those three are the salaries. The two below that, those would be our bond principal and bond
Right.
interest. And in previous years, you'll see that there's no expense in the bond principal. Sharon, you'll understand this. I just want to explain it to everybody else. The bond principal is paid down through a balance sheet account. While we need to budget for it, it's not expensed. It's just reduced as a liability throughout the year off the balance sheet. So you won't see expenses in that line, but we do budget that money there just to represent, we need to collect that because we do owe that as a payment.
And it seems to be at least the bond interest is going down, which is good. I also noticed healthcare has gone down quite a bit. That's odd.
That's because of a fluctuation. We just had one of the staff that was there that was on a family plan left, and
Yeah.
the individual that we replaced him with is on the individual healthcare plan.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's sad that we had to lose an operator, but at least we saved some
If we're
money.
gonna
Well, we
increase-
got one back. We got one back. We just hired a new guy, so we're good there. And he's on the single, he'll be on the single plan, so.
There he is. There's Steve.
Yeah, Steve
Hi,
joined us.
hi, Sharon. Hey, hi. Thanks, Ian. Thank you for the reminder, Ian.
If
Yep,
we're
no
going
problem,
to
anytime.
increase electricity, how are we gonna balance the budget?
Well, that's where we are, right?
Well, the
Before you
revenues,
came on, Steve, that's what we were talking about, increasing the electricity to maybe 43,000,
yes.
Right.
puts us out of budget
Right.
$8,000. So we gotta budget something else. We're gonna do something to balance.
Right, right. Well, Ian and I looked at that a little bit, and there's not a lot of wiggle room here. I mean, of course, that the solar plan never really came to fruition for us as far as saving the money that we anticipated saving. So that was really a kind of a debacle there. That never really came to saving us the money that we expected it to. And I don't know, Ian, we're not saving much on that, are we, right now?
I'd say a ballpark $10,000 a year, maybe. But that's
Yeah, I
based
don't
off of
think that-
last year's number. That is, with
Right.
last year, we had a very warm winter.
Right, that's right.
No ice fishing for me last year.
So,
You know,
but that's right. But Ian and I can take a closer look at it this week, and we could maybe see where we can pull. How much are we talking here?
Well, I just want to comment that we just did a rate increase. And if you scroll down
yeah,
and we look at our sewer charges, just historically, it's just around 500,000, which is where we're at right now. And we just had an increase. So I think increasing the electricity line another, less than $10,000. I mean, I think it's reasonable, and we just had that rate increase. So we should be looking at a pretty decent increase next year for collection.
right. So you're looking at 3.5% and a $500,000. So that should make up for what are we asking for? 8,000?
8,000 in electricity. So you wanna put 8,000 in electricity and increase the revenue sewer usage charge by 8,000.
Right,
So we'll balance.
right.
The Excel file that I sent to all of you, it's set up with a formula. So if you increase any expense, the revenue sewer usage charges gets increased. And vice versa, if you increase a revenue line, the sewer charge usage charges gets reduced. So
That's right.
it's a working formula there.
Right.
Steve, are you
So,
happy with this budget?
Yes. Yeah, we, Ian and I went over it with a fine tooth comb, and I think it's good. I think we did good.
Well, I'd like to propose that we approve this budget with the change of 8,000 added to electricity and 8,000 more in revenue.
Second by Stan.
yeah, I agree. Any discussion on that?
I think it's a great budget. I think they did a great job. Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
Thanks, Ian.
No, thank you. I couldn't do it without you there, Steve.
Right.
I know, but you did it
Well, I have to say too that Ian has been invaluable to me Not to blow his horn here publicly, but he really has helped a lot. I mean, we really don't have any administration anymore, since the whole changeover, and having him there helping me, like I said, has been really beneficial.
Yeah, and we're hopefully going to anticipate some more revenue based on Ledyard Center. So, I mean, I know that's.
Right. Did you guys talk about that tonight yet at all, or?
No, we haven't talked about that yet.
Okay. All right. So the RFPs have come back. We had seven prospective engineers looking at that. We're waiting on one more fee proposals. We have the fee proposals for 6 out of the 7, and we're waiting on Weston and Sampson's. I think Liz is looking for that. And then once we get all that together, I think we're sending it all out to you guys so you can look at those, and then we can shortlist it. It looks like they're going to be shortlisting themselves by the way the money's is coming in right now as far as the bids. So a couple of them have, priced themselves right out of it. So I think we should be able to get down to maybe have 3, and then maybe do a Zoom interview with those 3, and then select one to look at the Ledyard Center sewer feasibility.
Yeah, so it ranged, well, we're missing one, but it ranged from 29,000 to 54,000, I think.
Yeah, 57, I think.
57,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah, and I just did see Taylor and Howard came in. They were about 48. So and I suspect Weston and Sampson. I'm not sure where they're going to fall in, but that's the last one we're waiting for, I think.
Yeah,
we have it. We just have to find it from them. So,
Yeah, I'm just anticipating that it was gonna run around 35,000. I knew that was going to be a typical point.
Ed, point of order. We have a motion on the table.
Yeah, let's.
Yes.
I'm just going to say the same thing. We need to vote on this, please.
I want to ask a question. Do we want to discuss finance department service charges now or later?
I think that shows up in the water budget.
Shows up in both of them.
Oh, it does show up in both?
Yeah, it's in both of them.
Where's the finance?
It's underneath Lakeside Management, Maintenance. About
That's different.
halfway down.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. You're right. It's 14,000 right there.
Right, and the other half, the rest is in water.
Is in water. Right. All right. Well, Terry, you want to discuss it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's no secret that Ian has lots of duties, and I'd like to hear him give us a defense, if you will, of why we're getting half a man year charged to us.
So I don't know about the motion. Is the motion continuing and this is discussion with the motion? Is that what's going?
Yeah, this is still on the sewer budget.
This is discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I sent everybody an email with an updated Excel spreadsheet that breaks down. It's just not me. We've got, finance director does roles with WPCA, especially with the audit. The tax office, who has 2 people that work in that office, they collect assessments and do work with the assessments. We've got CJ, who works in the finance office, and she does a lot of the reporting and bank reconciliation. She does all of the bank reconciliations, and she does all of the WPCA, journal entries for the recordings for revenue. And so if you, I sent the spreadsheet out, and it's based on, an hourly rate that includes fringe benefits, and then a list out in detail of the amount of estimated hours per year of who works on what. And then at the bottom of it, there are narratives to further explain what the job duties might include.
Okay, Ian, I'm going to start first with saying that we've asked this question year after year after year, and interestingly enough, the amount that comes back from the finance department is almost the exact same amount every year, which seems kind of odd to me. The question is getting asked because, of course, you become the town treasurer, so you've got way more duties, and it seems hard. At one point, we were paying half your salary. Now we're still paying quite a bit of it, and you're doing another whole job.
Wait, can I just stop you there? WPCA never paid half my salary.
Pretty close.
because, well, all of that money doesn't go, it's not for me. It's
Well,
for,
that may be correct. They've divided it up to different people, but I noticed that we have, Mary Beth has dropped off, so we have Christina working full-time. Christina's not a full-time employee.
hours are very minimal for the WPCA in that spreadsheet.
Well, it says that she works 100 hours a year, which is roughly 10 hours, 8 hours a month, and all she does is minutes and an agenda.
The agendas, yeah.
I mean, that sounds about right, I would say. She has to sit and listen and dictate I mean, I got that spreadsheet has had the same number of hours for that position.
Right, and
I think it's like the
challenged
4th
it.
or 5th time it's been reissued.
Yeah, and then we've challenged it every year.
I mean, I'm not really in a position to change that.
I understand.
I don't know, who would you talk? I think that's I'd say that's a pretty good estimate.
Yeah, so Sharon, what do we, I mean, is this a discussion we have during the, we have to do a presentation to the Finance Committee on the 5th of March. But, we have to approve, frankly, we should be approving this budget tonight, at least the sewer.
And we're going to approve this budget tonight.
Yeah.
But Terry wanted to discuss it. Ian did send us the spreadsheet, which I can't now see because you took over my computer with your budget here. But I did look at it, and there was, a lot of hours for a lot of different people. And, the number of hours that the town, people have to work for the town. Ours is a little teeny budget. The town's budget is how many times bigger than ours? For somebody to be spending so many hours on our little teeny budget with our 3 little employees, and how many checks a month we write.
Ian, I have a question. Does the town's payroll system have any way of charging to specific departments or tasks, or is everybody just charge hours? In the state, I'm used to, I work on a project, I bill to a project. Do you have anything like that in the town hall?
I don't think so.
We pay by everybody submits a timesheet and it's electronic, and it gets submitted and it's all done hourly. I mean, everybody's charged to a different account, obviously. Like the guys here are charged to, the water and sewer are charged to water, the sewer guys are charged to the sewer. We don't have any water guys, but everybody's charged to a different account, but it is by hourly. It's not by job particularly.
Yeah, so
But someone who's splitting their time doesn't have to put a different code down for 4 hours
No.
for project A and 5 hours for project B.
No, we just do a base salary. Especially me, I'm just, I'm I get paid the same no matter what I work.
Yeah, I'm the same way, but we're reimbursed by different project accounts. So we have to put how many hours we worked on each project on the timesheet. I still get paid the same hourly rate. It's just, when the bills for reimbursement go out, they go to the appropriate project.
Well, I'm
We
not,
do
I'm not
not do it
suggest-
that way.
I'm not suggesting that we hold up the budget for this, but we have discussed this for years. Unfortunately, I didn't see your spreadsheet, Ian. I know I lost some emails while I was traveling. That may have been a victim of that. I never saw your spreadsheet. But as Sharon said, it's strangely constant year to year, even with the change of people and change of duties. So
There was a pretty significant savings with the consolidation of the treasurer position into my position. And we have, we've had people like our tax collector is getting paid significantly less than what Joan was getting because she's new. If you looked at I can send you what was sent in previous years if you want to compare. But you could see that Joan was around as a tax collector for a very long time. She was a top step employee. So now our new tax collector isn't a top step. and then the savings with the treasurer position being consolidated. I can see where you're coming from, where it's suspicious that it is the same amount, but there's been a lot of different, position changes and stuff where this WPCA has benefited also from the town reducing staff and saving on staff hour or staffing, if you will.
So I'll entertain, so we've already had the motion and seconded. Is there any other further discussion? I want to make sure I have the motion clearly defined. We're approving the budget for sewer for 668,000. No, that's the expense. Well, is that?
As amended with the change to the electric.
No, it's for, I'm sorry. It's for what, 505,000? Is that correct, Ian?
That's about right.
Yeah, 505,293.71 with
Well,
the.
that's just the collection, the sewer usage collection.
Where,
If the bottom line number is going to be that 668,411 plus the 8,000 that needs to be added on.
so
That's-
676,411 is what we're approving.
Yes.
Sharon, can you say that number again for me?
It's gonna be $676,411.11.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And somebody needs to, in about 10 seconds, somebody needs to repeat that number for me so I get it into the minutes,
Well,
please. So,
I'll restate
okay,
the
yes,
motion.
go ahead. Let me get off. I'm going to get in the minutes right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me know.
Just read me the amount, please.
Yeah, so the motion is to approve the sewer budget for 21-22 for $676,411.11. Where we're doing the addition of 8,000 for
The
electric.
electricity.
All
Very good. I
right,
got that too. Thank you.
all right, so all those in favor of approving the sewer budget signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, hearing none, the sewer budget is approved for 21-22, year 21-22.
I just wanted to make an additional, based on the discussion of the finance charges as well. The general government pays for all of the WPCA debt, which is the better part of $1 million. So that's just also, a considering factor. The general government pays all of the debt for WPCA as well. So, I mean, $40,000 financial services where the general government pays for all the debt.
Ian, you don't have to justify it. We're not attacking you. Believe me, we understand a lot of this. It's just the number's a big number. And way back when, all the WPCA paid was a little bit of rent. And we had
I
very
remember.
little expenses to the town. And all of a sudden, that $40,000 has been the same thing now for 5-6 years. And it's a lot more than what we were paying. But we
Right.
appreciate what you're doing. This is no attack or no reflection on you.
I totally understand
Everybody,
that. I'm in the office every day doing this work and I see the people that do the work and I think that number is very justified. If you were in the town hall and saw the work that was done, I think it's very justifiable.
I
Okay,
just sent out I sent the email that Ian sent us a few weeks back. The only person I didn't have an email for was Lanier. I don't know what I did with it.
thank you, Bill.
Welcome.
We're on to the water budget. Now, this is actually a little shorter than the sewer budget. And we have highlighted in yellow, the operating agreement, the annual operating agreement, because that's gone up.
Ed, can you zoom in, please?
Yeah, let me try. I thought I did, but let me try some more. Let me see. No, that's not what I want. All right, zoom 2.
Try collapsing the menu on the side and then zooming the page width.
That better? Ooh,
No, now
Yeah.
we lost the. now
Yeah, but we
the-
lost the columns.
yeah, let me try. Yeah, that was a little too high.
Collapse your menu on the
About-
side there. Click on the little arrow in the middle.
that work? No?
No,
So collapse the column on the right, the export Adobe stuff. Just
Oh,
collapse.
yeah, I can do that.
There you go.
Is that, we don't need to see the numbers. How about that?
keep going,
Great.
over a little more.
No,
He's
as
over
far
all
as
the
I
way.
can go. Still not good?
I don't have the 20, I can't see 2022, our pictures
Uh-uh.
are covering it.
I can.
Right, hold
Okay.
on. Let's see if this will do it. Too small?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not giving
Yeah.
me, it's not giving me the right, let me try, I wish I had, wait a minute,
I'll
maybe I
just
can
look at
enter.
my budget on my screen.
Well, here, let me try this number. 110, 10%. Oops. 10%. Let me see if that'll work. How about that? No?
Better.
Better?
Yeah, I can see that.
All right. So the yellow shows some increases. Obviously, we do have the G operating agreement annual has gone up and the service agreement has gone up.
Yeah, so again, those yellow marks are those are the lines that I fill in for contractual agreements and debts from debt schedules and anything from that nature that's defined of documentation that I have in my office. I'd say the biggest thing you guys might want to look at on this budget is the Route 12 and the Route 117 lines, because those rates increased and that dollar amount that's budgeted there has been the same for quite a few years. And that's, that's the estimation of what we're paying Groton Utilities for the water that runs through those lines. And I would say that those numbers are probably going to increase because the rates went up.
Yeah, that's going to go up 5%.
Right, but it's
Yeah.
going to be reflected in the revenue collection as well. Like
Right. That's correct.
So you're going to increase those numbers, but in turn, the revenue will go up as well from
So,
the customers' payments.
yeah, so the budget's probably going to be not the 1.4 million. It's going to be a little higher. By whatever, let's see.
5%.
Well, it's going to be 5% of 500,000, which is another 25,000. Well, I guess that doesn't really impact it that much. It's still going to be, 1.45 or 1.46.
Yeah, but we want to make the changes now that we're making to the budget because we're approving it tonight. So
Yeah,
if
we're actually,
if we're gonna,
what a budget we're recommending to the town council for approval.
correct, but you want to make sure we give them the budget we're recommending.
Yeah, so I
So
would
if
increase
Ian's
that.
saying we need to look at those two numbers and increase them by the 5% increase, we need to increase them by 5%.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree too. I just totaled all the last 5 years of water purchase, and you varied between F-17, you were 448,000, and you're only looking at a $453,000 total water purchase this year.
Right.
You've been as low as 438. I'm looking at actuals,
Mhm.
but every other year has been 450, 500, 453. So you're right on the edge of your historical actuals.
Yeah, and 5% of that is around another 25,000, Bill. So we're going to be
Right.
up to 475, real
Yep.
easy. So that's what I would recommend, that those two numbers would increase total to 475, and that would reflect in the total. Let's see, what is that, 20? So that would reflect in the total 1,461.
Got to divide it between the two lines, Ed.
Yeah, they're pretty even here, but
You want the 5% increase number?
Yes,
Yes.
240,450 for the first one. Second one is 235,725.
That's Jim Ball, everybody, in case you didn't know.
I recognize that voice.
I got my spreadsheet on the other screen going. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ian, we'll increase those two lines by 5%.
And so,
I think that's a great idea.
and the
And then-
final, the revenue and expense value for those comes out to being 1,459,524.97 cents.
I mean, 1,459,524.97, okay.
Was that by increasing the water usage charge by 5% as well?
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
because Ian actually put that in. I didn't have to do it.
Oh, another equation, okay.
I'm gonna need
Yeah.
somebody to tell me how much the dollar increase for Route 12 and Route 117 is, so
Why
I can
don't
get
we
it into
have
the
Jim?
minutes.
Why don't we have?
I know
Jim
it's
Ball?
5% more, but I don't know what 5% works out to, and I can't switch back and forth.
So
Why don't we
Tony,
have Jim Ball make the motion and then we can second the motion, vote on it. He can give Tony the numbers.
Works for me, except
Go ahead,
Jim's not a voting member, I am.
You can-
Yeah, but Jim can-
And you're making the motion.
yeah, but Jim can make a motion. He
Yeah.
can do
Okay,
You can't
I
vote
just
on
can't
it.
vote on it. Well, but that doesn't work though, because I can't, the way the minutes work, I can't have him make the motion if he's not a voting member. So it's easier if I make the motion.
All right, go ahead. Well, so,
So moved, whatever it is, I just moved it.
And I'll second it. Go ahead.
okay, so Tony, you're gonna motion that you're gonna increase.
No, Jim's gonna give him the numbers.
All
Jim's
right, go
gonna-
ahead, Jim.
All right. Number for Route 12 is 240,450. Route 117, 235,725.
Two, three, five, seven, three, five. All right, hold on.
No, 25. 235,725 is the last number.
Two, three, 235,725, right?
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
For a total budget of?
I'll read that off right now.
Wait for Tony to get ready.
Ready, Tony?
Just a second.
Okay.
Okay, read away for me.
1,459,524.97.
All righty, thank you. That's what I just moved.
And I just seconded it.
Any other further discussion?
Thank you, Ian, very much for all the work you put on this budget, and we don't mean to constantly make you justify your hours.
Oh, no, it's complete. It's not just my hours.
I know,
It's a lot of people.
I know, but you're the one that gets to come and get beat up, so thanks.
Oh, Sharon, I always enjoy your company at these
I
meetings.
know. I enjoy yours.
All right, is there any other further discussion on the water budget that what we're recommending to the town council? I don't see any numbers in there that, that have really changed.
No, we're
So,
voting now, Ed.
Okay,
well, I'm going to bring up the perennial because Bill Soms already did, which was that 5% increase just put us put us at an average. So if it's we've talked about this before, how do we deal with a bad year where our water is 30% more than we expect? That we're not going to fix that tonight.
No, but our revenue is going to be more than we expect as well.
Yeah, but that whacks. Yeah, I understand that they balance in that sense. And in fact, actually, they balance well in that sense because people are paying retail and we're paying wholesale. However, it really screws up the budget in ways that because it throws our budgets out of balance in ways we don't have control over, right?
Right. So where the confusion is, when we had a drought last year, we actually had more revenue than we had budgeted. The question for Ian is that where does that money go? Because it's not in any line item.
Yeah.
So if we made another $100,000 because of a drought and people had to buy more water, that should end up somewhere. But I wish I knew which bucket it was.
If we made an extra 100,000, we probably paid another 100,000 to Groton Utilities for the water through that Route 12 and Route 117 purchase.
Well, it's only, so I have to explain this a little bit. That's only a third of our budget. So what happens is we raise our budget total, like the 3.5% we raise also includes some fixed costs. You're right, but we do generate additional money, as Jim said, because we're only paying raw water rates. We're not paying retail rate. So there is
But you're,
generated.
you're an enterprise fund, so if you sell more water, you charge more for that same water. You can't make money on it. So you buy more water, you pay for more water, and when you look at the whole budget, it looks like water is just a small part of the operation. But if you buy another gallon of water at $1 and you sell it for, $1.10,
Right.
and bad numbers, but the point is you're not supposed to make money because
Yeah,
it's an
that's-
enterprise.
Well, that's what Jim's bringing up. On a drought year, we do.
Well, no, not necessarily, because we, our water usage does go up and the water we buy goes up. We don't, in essence, make money, Bill, you're right. We're an enterprise fund. But when we have excess money, because some years we make excess money and it goes into CNR.
Right.
Ian, do we put it in a CNR or a savings account? What do we do with the excess?
The excess gets put into a CNR fund.
Right.
It's not the excess. We budget $101,000 in the water, and I think it's 20,000 or something like that in the sewer fund.
But what if we
That's
make
right.
money?
What ends up happening is, and I'm going to use
20 is a low number for us. 20 is a low number. We should be more like 50 for the sewer, but we're not.
I'm gonna use a fund accounting term that doesn't apply to this, but it kind of does because the way our general ledger is set up. What happens in a year where you make more money, it just flows into fund balance. For a year that you don't make more money, that you're in the negative. If you look at the actuals from 17, 18, 19, 20, you'll see, and I'd have to do like a really close analysis to figure out what happened that year. But you'll see, that negative number at the grand total for 17 for 200, that's an extra 279,000 that year.
Right.
And then for 18, it was an extra 30,000. But then in 19, you were in the hole 124,000.
Right.
So the previous years where you make more money is for the upcoming years where you end up in the hole.
But
And
where is the fund balance?
it ends up on the balance sheet as the
Okay, that's what we
Fund
don't
balance.
see. And
Right.
That's where the question keeps coming up. What happens to our excess money?
it stays in the bank account.
Right.
So
but
we don't go negative.
I know that, but we don't see the bank account
Is there
balance.
a way that we could see that?
You want a
That-
bank statement?
So can we get a fund balance report for the
Yeah.
pertinent funds?
The enterprise funds are weird because they don't use fund accounting, but we use a software that uses fund accounting. So you're gonna see in that it's complicated, and I can't even tell you if I can fully explain it to you because it's this hybrid of GAAP accounting and fund accounting, where in enterprise funds we use GAAP. So you see, assets and liabilities and depreciation expenses and stuff that are like, Sharon, can you have a better grip on this stuff, but probably than I do as a CPA, and how kind of to explain it, where depreciation plays a role with GAAP accounting.
Right, but what the confusion everybody has is they would like to see what kind of money we have in the bank.
I can send you a bank statement. I think if I send you a balance sheet report, you're going to be scratching your head.
How about the auditor's balance sheet report? Is that the same thing?
Oh yeah,
that
I
you
can
would
send
say?
you the audit report.
that would tell them how much our fund balance is, or whatever we want to call that leftover money. Because
Okay,
that's
yeah, I
what
can,
they
yeah, I
see.
can do that.
That'll answer a lot of questions for people.
Yep, no, I think that's a great idea. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Yeah, I can send you the financial statements for the enterprise funds, no problem, from the
Thank you.
fiscal 20 audit.
Okay.
Make sure you tell us what page to look at.
So he's just gonna send us.
I'm just gonna
us
send you
ours.
that report. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna send you like the 100-page book.
No.
I'll find it for you and send it for you.
Ian, will that show a CNR account for water and sewer? And will it also show the account that's supposed to have money in it for refurbishing the tank that supports the Cross River? You know, the Holdridge,
The
the
audit
Holbrook
is
tank.
the audit is not going to go into that kind of micro detail. It's just going to give you large numbers, end of the year numbers. As far as I can send you a year-to-date budget report for CNR. Everything gets funneled into the CNR account under undesignated every year. So that 101,000, I take it out of the water fund and I appropriate it over to the water CNR fund, and it just builds every year. Does that make sense?
Well, when we look at it, are we just seeing the grand total? Or are we going to know what portion of that is ours?
All of it. It all just goes into the one big CNR pot.
Sounds like there's a separate water CNR fund as opposed to the town CNR fund.
Correct. And a separate sewer fund for CNR as well.
Okay, and how about the Holmberg tank?
I would, if it's managed under the water, it's under just that lump water CNR dollar amount that sits there.
Are you sure that, Ian?
100%.
I was, okay, so that escrow account is showing up in our books?
Mhm.
What account?
So the Holmberg tank, the wheeling fees go into an escrow account. And I'm not sure that the town, I don't know if the town has access to the escrow account.
I'm not
but it's
familiar with an
managed
escrow
separately.
account.
Yeah, I didn't think so. This was explained to me by Ed Monahan, who was present when that deal was set up. And Sharon, I think you were too.
Yeah, but that
When we did the homework.
doesn't come to the town at all. That's something entirely
Right,
different.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The funds go into an account, they don't go to the town.
Right.
And they're held in reserve in that account for maintenance on the Holmberg tank. We have no control over it, we have no access to it.
Correct.
That was supposed to be the wheeling fee.
That's right.
Well, I understand when we set this up that the wheeling fee was supposed to come to the town, and we were supposed to put it basically in a savings account.
Is that the transmission fee
Yeah.
from Montville?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the water that goes to
Yeah.
Montville.
Yes,
Okay.
but it was not supposed to originally come to the town, but we found out it was coming to the town and we were actually spending it.
Right. But when we negotiated the agreement, because I was involved in that and we had
Yes.
visions that we were going to make a big profit, but no, just
That's because-
just enough to cover maintenance on the tank.
Well, that's because
The town
years
was
ago, they
supposed to
used to
put
let
that
you
in the
charge
bank.
it.
Yeah, that tank better hold up.
I'd
Can
say
we
there's a
vote on the
pretty,
budget?
the CNR fund for water is a pretty healthy dollar amount. We haven't spent too much out of that since I've been there, since I've been in Ledyard, which is, this will be the 5th year. 101,000 goes to that account every year.
We're not supposed to either. So that's for replacement of the Route 12 and 117 mains when they fail, hundreds of years in the future,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully.
Well, it's for other CNR as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably going to be some this year, there's going to be some future capital expense. There's going to be some spending on this center sewer thing, and We
Hey,
do
can
have
we
a
vote on
22.
Can we vote on the budget? We're gonna get way far away from the budget and forget that we didn't vote on it.
Well, yeah, I've got the number right here, if Tony has it.
Yeah.
I think we already voted on it.
No, we
we
didn't.
We didn't vote. What, the motion is to approve to the town council a budget of $1,459,524.97 for year 21-22.
All
That's
those
a-
in favor?
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Hearing none. The water budget is recommended for approval to the town council. And I will make that presentation on the 5th of March, 4:30. All right. Is there any
Kind of
other?
wanted to continue this discussion about that transmission fee, because I remember this coming up when I first started in Ledyard, when I attended one of your budget meetings. And I believe I made a recommendation that the WPCA make an official motion to, if that specific revenue is supposed to be designated somewhere, that the WPCA should make an official motion that that money needs to be designated on an annual basis of a journal entry or an appropriation or some sort of, so that at the end of the year, it's a journal entry that's made on the general ledger to appropriate that revenue to elsewhere.
Yeah, anything that we get from the wheeling fee is supposed to go into a capital reserve fund for maintenance on the tank. I think it
Right.
should be dollar for dollar.
That's right.
If you can find out, Ian, I'd love to know, because there's that regional water interconnection agreement that's floating around somewhere. I don't have a copy of it. A lot of stuff got lost when one of the past directors quit. A lot of files, I think, got thrown away. So I just don't know how to get at the information.
Do you know about what year that contract would have been signed?
I have a copy of the
Oh,
contract. I can send you.
I was gonna say,
Great.
every contract is supposed to be in the town clerk's office.
Correct.
And it's broken up by
Right.
year in the clerk's office on file. So if you gave me the year, I could find it, but if you have a copy of it, I mean, I've never personally seen it.
It was
Yeah,
around
Ray can send it to
2005,
you.
but yeah.
I'll send
Yeah.
you a copy.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you,
you.
Ray.
Thank you.
So do we need to make a motion to make a journal entry of that?
Yeah, that would be yeah.
I'd like to know
So-
whether or not we can require it to be in arrears, so that we go back to the date of the contract and earmark that much money so that we know it has been set aside.
I think that is a much bigger discussion. So if,
Yeah.
in my opinion, if we did do that, the assumption I think has been that that money that's been collected for that is part of the 101,000 that's turned over to the water CNR fund.
I think it should be an addition. It should almost be a separate account.
Well, it could be part of it, but it needs to be counted separately.
Like
We
a
need to
sub,
know that 101 goes there, but 15,000 of it's for that replacement tank. And
Right.
You can't use it for anything else. Whatever
I
the number is.
think you want to see the agreement before you make a motion.
Right, and we're getting the agreement, so
Right,
let's wait.
right.
next
Bill, I'm
month.
not going to make a motion tonight until I think Ian's right. We need to get the numbers.
I don't know how it works with the WPCA, but I know that the town council has made a number of ordinances that require us to do these, and they're ordinances, so it's documented. I have a file on the server that has all these ordinances, like there's an ordinance for pistol permit revenue that goes to the police CNR, and there's an ordinance that, there's all these ordinances that designate certain revenues that's collected in the general fund to be, put out over into CNR. And it's an official, signed ordinance. I don't know if I don't think the WPCA does ordinances.
We don't do
particular-
ordinances, and I don't even think the WPCA signed this contract. I think the town of Ledyard did.
Right.
yeah, the town did. I was on the town council at the time that we signed on to
The
it.
WPCA doesn't sign any contracts usually, so this would have been
Nope.
something signed by the town.
That's correct.
Well, I mean, that's okay. I mean, the town can sign this ordinance too, that's making sure that it's being designated. That's fine.
That's where I was going with that, because
Yeah.
if the town signed it, the town should pass an ordinance
Right.
for us.
I mean, they're gonna want us to recommend how the ordinance be worded, that's all.
Right, right.
All right, that's an action item. I'm writing it down. Okay. Any other business that anybody wants to discuss? Besides that Steve wanted more CNR and sewer.
Well, I always say that, but
Well,
we're doing okay though.
but you have to understand, we still pay you 12.5. I don't know how much is left that water has to pay. It's got to be $100,000 at least.
Keep it coming.
Yeah.
I don't think it's 100,000. Remember what happened with the SCADA project? The
Yeah,
water
we-
fund
Oh,
put
yeah,
in like,
that's right.
I think
Yeah, we got a little bit back. Yeah, we got a
75,000 or
pretty good
something in
chunk.
1 year
Yep.
We got a
to
good
help
chunk there.
offset the over expenditures in the SCADA project.
Yeah, I
That's
think we
right.
owed originally 300,000 though. So
That's correct.
so there's got to be some money left in that.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we pay it off, our budget, looks a little better. Again, any other business? Well, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And hearing no objections, everyone have a good week. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
Keegan.
Next month.
All right, thank you,
everyone.
everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks, Ian.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.